Reach high, aim high, and obtain. Alright, so my tea kettle here just whistled. I love this. We got this years ago. And then over here, I'm going to do the rim of it. And what happens is by the hot water going down the rim, it sanitizes all the sides. And that's how I prepare for doing what I'm doing. You will also want to do this approach for the knives, the cutting board, and the lead-free glass weight, as well as any lids and materials that will come in contact with the product. I then typically use my silicone gloves to hold the containers and the tools so that I don't accidentally get the boiling hot water on my skin. I love that, as you can see me doing here. It's really made a difference. So if you're going to be doing something like this, I suggest getting silicone coated gloves. It makes all the difference in the world. We're going to now process some garlic from our garden to make a ferment. Look at this. This is so beautiful. From our garden. These things are huge compared to what we've been getting in the store. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to actually chop this off, and we're going to do something with these long leaves, because that's quality garlic pieces, I think, that we can put in maybe a stir fry and it'd be absolutely delicious. And we are going to, let's see, how many do we have? Dad said he'd really take care of getting us a whole bunch of garlic here. So we've got 5 of these, and we are going to process these. So let's see how easy these are or not. Okay, it doesn't like opening that way. Okay, that's what I was needing to know. In ancient Egypt, garlic and honey were used by the laborers that constructed the pyramids. The garlic was more than just used for cooking. It was considered a powerhouse of resistance. So daily rations of garlic were provided to boost stamina and protect against infections. It's also because of garlic sulfur compounds, particularly the allicin, that acts as an antimicrobial. Honey also was a part of the environment because Egyptians used it as a wound dressing because its enzymes produced hydrogen peroxide, making it a potent antiseptic. In traditional Chinese medicine, garlic has also been used for thousands of years to warm the body, disperse cold, and kill parasites. The healers would combine the garlic with honey to create a potent elixir to not only address illness, but to strengthen the body's natural defenses. Ayurvedic healers also treated garlic and honey with high regard. So the ancient civilizations of Egypt, China, and India, all 3, although they didn't have laboratories like we do today, they had thousands of years of direct observation and experience that caused them to notice that people who regularly ate garlic and honey stayed healthier and lived longer. They saw that wounds healed faster, costs disappeared, and energy levels rose. And this knowledge was passed down through the generations in order to preserve this amazing tradition of information. They're so moist because they're fresh from the ground. It's not as dry to peel them like they would be from the store. Oh, look at that. That one's pink. Mm-hmm. That's unique. Oh, look at that. That peeled so beautifully. Okay, I'm going to put that to the side. Oh, wow. This is different. Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. I've never done this with garlic before. Wow. You know what it kind of reminds me of is like peeling in like a banana or an orange. And it just does it in layers. This is cool. And it's like a pod. It's like a mini pod. And it just peels so, I mean, look at how easy that's peeling. I would have liked this when I was making my garlic sauce. But this is also the first time that we've really had good sized garlic because of how we planted it towards the end of last year, towards the end of the fall and before winter. And we have a video on how we planted this, and this is just phenomenal garlic results because we planted garlic before, but this is the first year I think we're actually getting the results we've been looking for all along, I think. So this is amazing. Okay, so I will continue doing that. And then I will show you next steps. After peeling all of them, I got just a little bit around 2 cups worth of garlic from that much of the peeling of the garlic open. And we still have quite a bit of the, I want to say the stalks or the leaves of the garlic that we'll use to potentially do stir fries and stuff with. But now we're going to do the final steps in this process. We are now going to cover all of the garlic with organic, raw, unfiltered honey. We're using a sourwood flavored honey in this particular step from a local beekeeper and farm. My grandfather was actually a beekeeper, and one jewel of information that I want to share that he gave to my mother years ago was if one is new to an area that they've never been in before and maybe they're having a lot of allergies going on with the seasons, is he told her have raw honey from the area and consume that raw honey, and actually it will help the body adjust and accommodate to the new environment. So it's almost like giving your body a supercharge to adapting to one's new environment. And that is one factor that we have been practicing ever since, and it has made such a difference. And my mother has told me that her father was very accurate in suggesting that sage ancient wisdom to us as a beekeeper. Once everything has been thoroughly covered with the honey, then you want to actually add the weight to hold the garlic under the honey. Now, I do want to point out it is a lead-free weight that I am using in doing this step, but if you don't have a weight, a workaround is making sure you have a good seal on the lid when you do this, and basically flip the container up and down to make sure the garlic is constantly coated each day with honey. Now, I personally like to streamline my fermenting, which is why I use the weight, because it keeps the garlic under and I don't have to worry about that. So I do want to add that factor. And the other thing I like to use is what I'm showing you here, which is a one-way releasing valve for fermenting. So I don't have to worry about having a lid that has a thing that sticks up for a water seal. I don't have to worry about the type of lids I've used before that haven't done really well, I have found for me, that claim they're a one-way seal and they end up not being. Love this particular setup because it also facilitates me sucking out the air that's excess, so it does a quicker turnaround, I feel, with the fermenting. That's just my personal preference in regards to this approach. Now, you may be like, why did you use such a big container? I want to add to that in saying that I knew I was going to be adding more garlic to the container, and so for my intents and purposes, I wanted to start out with a larger jar that I was going to add more of the garlic from our garden to, because honey is a natural antibacterial, antiviral, fabulous, that's been used and been around for thousands of years, and they're even found in Egyptian tombs, still as good as the day that they were put in there. You hear, this is actually how it looks after one 24-hour period of fermenting, so it really did awesome. Ideally, one would use a dark glass jar such as amber or cobalt blue, particularly to protect against ultraviolet rays that can degrade the honey and garlic over time. However, if you're like me and I only had access to a clear glass jar at this time, then you would want to keep it in a dark cupboard to protect the ingredients and the quality of it as much as possible. And the lids, you want to make sure that the ingredients do not come in contact with the lid. And if using a lid, it should be non-metallic or coated with a food safe enamel. Ideally, if that's not possible and your jar has a metal lid, then you can place a piece of parchment paper or plastic wrap. Ideally, I would go with parchment paper in this instance between the lid and the jar to create a barrier to protect not only the ingredients, but to protect yourself and your family. If looking to do long-term storage of this combination, the suggested approach is a ratio of roughly 1 part of the garlic to 3 parts of the honey. If you're looking for more of a balanced ratio, it would be a 1:4 ratio. And that is because we need to ensure that the honey completely surrounds every piece of garlic, creating a barrier against air and microbial contamination. If too much garlic is used, the mixture may become too watery over time. So for true long-term storage without refrigeration, we have to stay on the drier side with more honey as a more beneficial path. Some people may be concerned about garlic breath. Realize that fermented garlic tends to be without a residue of a scent of garlic in the mouth. So it tends to be safe for general use. And it can be added to things like sauces, dressings, marinades. It can be added as a flavor enhancer to a dish. It can be used as a seasoning. You can use it over roasted vegetables, grilled meats. Some people like to put this in popcorn for savory. I haven't tried that, so I can't speak to it. Adding it to a morning smoothie and blending it together, or even creating a garlic infused water. So there are multiple ways one can use it. So now let's go into the health benefits as well, further as to what garlic can provide to us.
Fermented garlic honey is one of the most powerful natural remedies you can make at home, and almost nobody is talking about it. Here's what you do. Walk out to your garden and pull fresh organic garlic. Peel those cloves and drop them raw into a sanitized, lead-free glass canning jar. Pour local, raw, organic, unfiltered honey over every single clove until they are completely submerged. Use a sanitized, lead-free glass weight to keep those cloves pushed down under the honey. Then seal it with a one-way releasing lid that automatically vents fermentation gases safely without you having to babysit it. No one-way lid available? No problem. Seal it normally, flip the jar upside down daily to keep every clove fully coated, then flip it right side up again. Just remember to manually burp the lid regularly to release built-up fermentation pressure safely. Now here is where it gets wild. Within days, beneficial bacteria, including lactobacillus strains, begin transforming this mixture into something extraordinary. The fermentation process generates allicin, a powerful antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory compound. You also get a rich concentration of vitamins B6 and C, manganese, selenium, and prebiotic compounds that feed your gut microbiome deeply. For migraine sufferers specifically, Angela Stanton, PhD, in her research highlights that electrolyte imbalance and sodium deficiency are central migraine triggers. Garlic contains potassium, magnesium, and trace minerals that directly support electrolyte homeostasis, which is critical for a migraineur's sensitive nervous system. The honey amplifies everything by adding natural enzymes, antioxidants, and antimicrobial properties. Together, they become a fermented superfood that supports immune function, cardiovascular health, gut integrity, and neurological balance. Give it 30 days before your first taste. Your body will feel the difference. Every single person who watches this video has the power to change someone else's life today. Subscribing to TaylorIt takes 1 second, but creates a ripple that reaches people across the entire world. Hit like, share this with someone who needs it, and drop your location in the comments because seeing where our community reaches genuinely excites us. Together, we are building something real. Join us and help others find this too.